Good afternoon, Year 9. Last lesson, we did quite a bit of analysis and we had to go through it. It was pretty heavy. So today, what I'd like us to do is I'd like us to use that, but I'd like us to present it in a really nice and creative way, all right, to sort of showcase our work. Now, I know last time maybe not all of you managed to finish your steps analysis and overview of the poem Vergissmeinnicht, but we did go through all the answers to the questions, okay? So in your groups today, this is what I'd like you to do. So you're working in the same groups that you worked in last time, okay? And what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to produce a poster of analysis, all right? So really, really beautifully detailed and beautifully put together, all right? Now, I will be giving teams that do really, really well at this, I will be giving out positive comments to everyone that participated within that group, all right? So this is, now you're not strictly stuck to this way of doing it. You can discuss it in your own terms, but what I want you to do is you must include everything on here. So I've done it in colored boxes just to make sure that you're clear about everything that needs to be included. So first of all, the background shouldn't be white, all right? So you might want to use like a faded image. It's up to you what you use. You could use a flower, you could use an image of war, whatever. Just with the images that you're using, just be really careful that you're not putting on anything too gruesome or too upsetting, all right? You can be symbolic, okay? So like the burst stomach like a cave, you could put a picture of a cave rather than, someone with horrendous injuries or something, all right? So just be sensitive to the images that you're selecting, please. The background shouldn't be left white. It should be some sort of image. It should have a title at the top as well. All right, Vergissmeinnicht. Make sure you spell it correctly. Then I also want you to have the poem in the middle of the page, all right? Format that carefully so you can read it the best you can and the stanzas are clear. Then around the poem, I want you to put all your responses, comments, and analysis from last time, all right? Now, it doesn't mean it's just the answers to the questions. If you see other techniques that are used, like, for example, there were a couple of similes and things that people picked out that we didn't actually talk about and weren't actually responses to any particular question, but they're still great analysis, so we should put that in there. So all your analysis needs to go on the sides, okay? So I've done two coloured boxes for that. They're the same, but I just want you to make sure that your poem is completely surrounded by notes and make sure that it's labelled clearly, so these different lines connecting the poem to the analysis, all right? So make sure that's really, really neat. Also, for each stanza, I'd like you to think about an appropriate image that could complement and go along with each of the focuses of each stanza. And then finally, to finish, I want you to do your steps, all right? Now, if you didn't finish that last time, then you need to finish that today, all right? And again, you can split that up between you all right? I want one person to be editor and manager, the person that's most conscientious amongst you. I'll let you fight that out between yourselves. And I want them to just make sure it's perfect and give it a careful edit. So, we're working for positive comments here, so I want to make sure that the work is of a very, very high standard. So things like grammatical errors, spelling errors, missing capital letters, you're not going to get a positive for that, okay? So you need to make sure it's really, really carefully edited. So just to recap, title, background, poem, annotations down the side from last time, all right, as detailed as possible. The more detailed, the more likely you are to get a positive. Some appropriate images, but not too graphic or upsetting, please. And then, because there is some horrible imagery within the poem, I don't want to see that. Think about more of the mood and the emotions rather than, the graphic brutality of it. And then maybe some symbols. And then finally, a detailed overview of the steps, okay, including the synthesis paragraph as well for S, all right, which is a summary overview. So you need to split this task up between you, decide who's doing what, all right, and I want one person to take a bit of responsibility for overseeing it, all right? So we'll hand this in. Any group that does a particularly good job, everyone within that group will be awarded a positive comment. So it's a nice creative task to do today because we did do a lot of analysis last time, okay? And I'd like us to have something just really nicely presented that sort of exhibits our work that we've been doing, okay, in the last couple of lessons. All right, if you've got any questions or issues or problems, email me. I will be online throughout the session as normal. All right, thank you very much, Year 9.